This is Jewish Prepper 1. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk a little bit about what's been going on since my last video. First of all, before I forget, I want to give a shout out to David Desarty 1. I wanted to say that our prayers are with him. He's going through a rough time. If you're not familiar with what's going on, I would suggest that you go to his YouTube channel and see what happened to him. And what happened to him could happen to any of us. So I suggest that you support him if you can financially. If not, at least sign his petition to the governor to help him get his guns back. David, our prayers are with you. Now, some other things I wanted to discuss. One of them is a book that I've picked up recently. It was recently published, and I'm going to be doing more reviews on recently published books because I think it's important to get that information out there. And there's all sorts of information in the market, and some of it's good and some of it isn't. So it's important to get reviews and understand what should be read out there. This book, it's called Gangs, Outlawed Bikers, Organized Crimes, and Extremists. I don't know if you can see that. The book is a wealth of knowledge. That having been said, it is very poorly written, in my opinion. It's very difficult to read. It's difficult to decipher. I think they could have done a much better job in writing this book. But it is a wealth of knowledge. It's information that is important for the prepper to know, because according to many, these people are going to be the most problematic of all should there be some sort of collapse. They're well organized, they are well trained, and they are mobile. So unlike the traditional gangs out there that may have a certain small region, a certain turf, a certain area which they are in charge of and are familiar with, outlawed biker groups are mobile, they're ruthless, and they can be a major disturbance. They can be a major problem for the prepper should there be a collapse. This book goes through all different types of gangs out there, explains the difference between different gangs and groups, how the hierarchy of them, how their hierarchies work. It gives you symbols, tattoos, hand signals that are used by the gangs. Again, I was not very impressed by the way it was written, but it is information that's important to know, and I couldn't find it in a concise place anywhere else that was up to date and concise. So right now I think it is the place to go in order to get that information. It's written by a police officer. Excuse me, I'm not sure if he's a retired police officer, but someone who worked in the field, worked with the gangs, and is familiar with, has done a lot of research obviously, and is familiar with how they work. I think it's important for us to understand where the threats are going to be coming from, and I'm not as concerned about the disorganized looters that are going to be out there that might be just looking for, food for that day because they're hungry. I think those type of people will soon realize that it's much easier to go to the soft targets than to try to hit a hard target like a prepared prepper. But when you're talking about organized gangs and outlawed biker groups, these are groups that are a serious threat to anyone, and would be very worth your while to learn about them. Now, I also wanted to speak a little bit about what's going on as far as my attempts at trying to spread the word. In about 2 weeks' time, we're going to do our first recording of what I believe is the first nationwide, the first prepper TV series. And we're going to be bringing different experts in different fields. The first one's going to be on emergency communications. And we're going to discuss. It's not going to be reality TV. It's not going to be Doomsday Preppers. This is going to be informational. And there's plenty of information out there, perhaps on YouTube, even on internet radio. But as far as something that's televised, something that is going to be watched by the public, this is something that I have not found yet, and it's something that I hope to get into, and hopefully it'll spread and other people will follow. If anyone is interested in being on the show, please PM me. Let me know. If you're able to come here, that'd be great. Otherwise, we can possibly do things remotely through video or through telephone. Finally, on another thing topic I just wanted to cover very quickly is I am running for delegate to the Republican National Convention. Now, this is very exciting for me because I think that this is going to be probably the most exciting convention that has happened in our country in decades. It's not clear who the nominee is going to be for president, and it's very possible that the convention will be brokered, meaning that no candidate will have enough delegates in order to clearly get the nomination. And this puts a lot of power in each delegate, especially in my home state of Pennsylvania, where the delegates are not committed. That means we have not chosen anybody that we prefer to decide on who the next president possibly could be of the United States. And this makes this is a huge thing. This is something that can decide the future of our country, and I take it very seriously. So it's a little bit too late for me to for all you guys to put yourselves out there and become delegates. But what you can do is research who your delegates are, and I would highly recommend you do so. If you're in a state that has already chosen their delegates, who have committed delegates, there's a little bit less leeway. But if you're in a state like Pennsylvania, which have uncommitted delegates, then you want to find out who they are. Here in Pennsylvania, you're allowed to have 3 delegates for each congressional district. Find out who they are. Find out who they represent. We've had here a number of people that have already committed themselves to a specific candidate, which I personally don't think is right. I think a lot can happen between now and the convention, and it would be prudent to wait to see what the situation is in August, the end of August, to see who's the most winnable. Because my ultimate goal is to get the current president out of power, unseated, and to put somebody that's put this country back on track. So in order to do so, I'm going to go to the convention, and I'm going to use whatever method possible to nominate somebody who I think is winnable and someone that I think is going to put our country back on track. You have to research who your delegate is. There are people that are out there, there are candidates for delegate that are going around and misleading people. And they're telling people that they're uncommitted, and they actually are very committed to a specific candidate. And, you know, it's nothing against that specific candidate that they're committed to. But, like I said, I don't think that it's wise right now to be committed here in Pennsylvania, because there's no necessity in doing so. Now, I would suggest you research who your delegates are. This is a big decision. Most people ignore it. They look at the ballot. They see that there's 15, 20 people running for delegates. It says pick up to 3. By the way, at least here in Pennsylvania, you don't have to pick all 3. You can pick 1 if you want. It's up to 3. I would research who they are, if they're committed, who they're committed to, and be very careful who you vote for delegate, because this is a very, very big... It's a little bit confusing. Most people don't understand that the delegates are the ones that actually nominate the president. It's not the popular vote. People don't understand that it's not the popular vote that actually votes the president in it. It's at the Electoral College. So there are people out there that are manipulating the system, and we have to be very careful in how we proceed. So I would suggest, again, that everybody looks at who their delegates are and supports the delegates which they feel are best representative of their views. Again, I wish David, much luck. Doomsday Preppers, I have to just say a few words about Doomsday Preppers. I was filmed for Doomsday Preppers, and I'm not sure when my episode is going to show. I've been a little bit disappointed in that I found it to be a little bit on the negative side when it comes to how it shows preppers. Even the name I'm not too excited about, because clearly that is something that makes us all look like a bunch of kooks. But there are serious preppers. I've learned a lot from the shows. I hope you have too. And I think that it's a good way to get the word out. As long as we're able to look like we're normal people and that we're preparing for normal circumstances, things that could happen to anyone, anytime, I think it's a positive thing. I think it's something that can bring the public, raise public awareness. And I've already found people in my own community that have seen the show and have decided to start prepping. So that's very encouraging, and I'm happy I did it just for that alone, because I think that it was worthwhile if we get a few people to wake up and realize that it's something that it's a necessity. Gas prices are on the rise. I don't believe that we're going to be seeing $3.50 here in Pennsylvania prices for much longer. It's going to go much higher. If you can store up some gas, you should do so. And I suggest that we all get more organized. We need to get together. We have to network more than we have been, and we have to spread the word. I still have the YouTube contest on. I would encourage people to send in video responses. It will end when I get, say, 1,000 subscribers, and it's a simple question as to how is the best way to reach the masses about preparedness. And the prize is a nice prize. It's a $100 SteriPen that's able to sterilize water. It's a UV water sterilizer. And I encourage people to go to that page, put their video responses in, even if they're short. If they're good points, then it's something that can help us all. Most of us out there are in it for the greater good of us all. We're not out there for selfish reasons. The preppers that I've met have been very dedicated, altruistic sort of people that are out there just to help. And I think that if we're able to brainstorm and try to find ways that we can reach the public, we can really save us all. I mean, the fact is, the more people that are preparing, the easier it will be for everyone. So, let's get thinking. Let's put our thinking caps on, figure out what we have to do in order to get that word out. Like I said, I'm trying all different things, all different angles in order to try to get that word out. I know that many preppers out there are worried about OPSEC. OPSEC is definitely a concern. But in my case, at least, I think it's more important to get the word out. So that's a balance, something that every prepper has to weigh, how much they want to get the word out versus how much they're willing to expose themselves. And I wish everyone luck. Please comment. I want to hear more information, more feedback from everyone, and let me know what you think. I think that the programs that we're going to come up with soon are going to be amazing. So look forward to that. After it airs, it's going to be on YouTube. And if anybody is able to help out with that, there's also the Prepper Speaker Bureau that I have been working on. We already have a website. Anyone who's interested in becoming a member of that and putting themselves out as a speaker, as an expert speaker, whatever that means, in a specific topic or a specific skill set, please let me know and I will definitely add them to the list. Thank you very much. This is Jewish Prepper 1, and I appreciate your support.